Good evening, everyone. So we are here today again with Mr. Adityanjee, and we are going to talk on some strategic affairs. So this is a very hot topic today, the India-Canada row. So we are going to discuss about this India-Canada row and this Khalistan movement. So that is very much in news currently. So welcome, Dr. Adityanjee. Welcome to our show.
Namaste. Thank you very much for inviting me again on your show.
Thank you.
I'm pleased to be with you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. So, sir, we have just seen the tussle that has started between India and Canada, and how Justin Trudeau, when he came for the G20 meeting, so he was sidelined, and he has also reacted, and he has made a statement against India in the Canadian Parliament. So we are going to discuss today about this, what is this row about and what is this Khalistan movement, because Khalistan movement has been in news for quite some time. I think this is a very long time. So what is the issue behind and what do you think about it? So the viewer, the very first, I'm going to introduce Dr. Adityanjee. He is a president of the Council of Strategic Affairs. So he is an expert in strategic matters. So we always speak to Dr. Adityanjee. We have some topic that we need the strategic knowledge about. So the very first question, sir, that I have in mind, when this Khalistan movement, the supporters of Khalistan movement or the Khalistani, so these people are always focused on the Indian side of Punjab. They want to turn into a Khalistan, into a separate country, and they never talk about the Pakistan side of Punjab. So there are many regions which have very high historical and cultural significance, like Lahore, Nankana Sahib, and so you don't listen to anything about those areas or anything about the Punjab province of Pakistan. So what do you think, what is the reason behind this? So why these people are focused on the Indian side of Punjab only?
So basically, Khalistani movement is supported by a number of countries, but the chief backer of Khalistani project is the ISI, Inter-Service Intelligence Agency of Pakistan, and GHQ, General Headquarters. Remember, after 1971, liberation of Bangladesh, dismembering of Pakistan, Pakistan's political and security establishment was deeply hurt that Bangladesh was created as a separate country. And they decided to actually seek revenge on India to try to dismember India. In that process, from 1971 onwards, they have been working with other intelligence agencies, and they have tried to foment trouble in Indian state of Punjab, trying to brainwash and indoctrinate some of the diaspora Sikhs who were used. And these diaspora Sikhs were basically in Canada, UK, and United States. They were indoctrinated, they were given funds, they were trained in armed, use and all that sort of thing. They did use some of the Pakistani Sikhs also, and they were just like they are sending terrorists into Jammu and Kashmir. They will take the misguided Sikh youth, take them to Pakistan for training, and indoctrinate them, and then try to infiltrate on the Indian side of line of control. So that has been a Pakistani project to seek revenge on India for dismembering Pakistan. And hence the focus is on Indian state of Punjab, not the Punjab or not the empire of Maharana Ranjit Singh that had its capital in Lahore, and included parts of Afghanistan and Kashmir and went, Peshawar and Northwest Frontier Province. So that's the reason the Khalistani terrorists and Khalistani activists talk only Indian side of the Punjab only and not the Pakistani side of Punjab, which has a large number of Sikh shrines, as you had said that, Nankana Sahib. They would not talk about the Gurdwara Kartar Singh Sahib Gurdwara, which is just on the border of India and Pakistan and the Pakistani side of Punjab. And it is very shameful. The treatment of Sikhs in Pakistan is abysmal. They are traumatized there, they are oppressed. Similarly, the Khalistani activists will not talk about Taliban's treatment of Sikhs in Afghanistan. You know what is the situation there after second retake of Afghanistan by Taliban. All the Afghan Sikhs who are native to Afghanistan, these are not migrants from India. Yeah. These are Afghan people who had embraced Sikhism at some point in time, including a couple of members of parliament, including, there was a member of parliament, Dr. Anarkali Kaur Hosharyar. They had to leave Afghanistan. They had to carry Guru Granth Sahib on their, flights on their heads because they could not let them be desecrated. Main Sikh Gurdwaras in Afghanistan were desecrated, They would like to put a Taliban flag on the Gurdwaras rather than the, a Sikh flag on Gurdwaras in Afghanistan. So you see there's a design behind it. The Khalistanis will never talk about oppression of Sikhs in either Taliban-controlled Afghanistan or in Pakistan. In Pakistan, both Hindu Sikh girls are being abducted daily. And they are abducted, they are converted, they are married off, and then they disappear. And they disappear because they are traded off as sex slaves, either to the West Asian countries or to China. So again, what I'm trying to say that tragedy is that Khalistani Sikhs don't see the oppression of Sikh community in these two totalitarian Islamic countries because their funding, their money, their support is coming from the Pakistan, ISI and GHQ, along with certain Western intelligence agencies. They have sanctuaries in both UK and Canada, and I must say in US also. They have been going on rampage on Indian diplomatic missions, whether it is in San Francisco or in Canada or in UK. There were attacks by Khalistani Sikhs on Indian, High Commission in London. Similarly, they have targeted Indian diplomats in Canada. They took out a, parade in which, there was a float on glorifying assassination of former Indian Prime Minister Indira Gandhi. So these countries have, I won't say tolerated, I would say actively encouraged Khalistani separatists and Khalistani terrorists in their countries and provide them sanctuary for geopolitical reasons.
So, on the international scene, there are only two countries that support this Khalistani movement, that is Canada and UK. So do you think this is only the vote bank politics or there is some other reason behind this?
So in Canada's situation, it is with the current Trudeau government, it's vote bank politics. Out of 39 million people in Canada, 2.1% are Sikhs. That constitute around 770,000 people. In 2021 Canadian parliamentary elections, which Justin Trudeau had called a snap election, Trudeau's party came as one of the largest parties, but did not gain absolute majority. So it got 160 seats, you needed 170 seats to have parliamentary majority. So Trudeau took support of a party called New Democratic Party, NDP, of Jagmeet Singh. Now, this party claims to be a kind of leftist party, but it is basically a Khalistani party. And they got 25 seats, so they are propping up Justin Trudeau in power as prime minister. So it's absolute vote bank politics because the puppet master is Jagmeet Singh, who is a Khalistani ideologue. And wherever he directs Trudeau, Trudeau has to take that path. So definitely vote bank politics in Canada, but there are other geopolitical reasons also. In case of UK, it is not so much as vote bank politics, but the Machiavellian practices of UK government after India was granted independence. UK had its sympathies with Pakistan because Pakistan was willing to carry out the agenda of the Western imperialist countries. So in that process, they have supported Khalistani ideologues, terrorists, separatists, and given them sanctuary. Before all this, noise was there used to be a person by name Jagjit Singh Chauhan, who was based in London in UK and had actually declared a provisional government of independent Khalistan in London. So these countries are using Khalistani terrorists for geopolitical reasons to, put pressure on government of India over decades. It's not a recent phenomenon.
Yes.
And I may say that even United States has covertly supported Khalistani separatists. There is no reason why Gurpatwant Singh Pannu can openly operate in, United States. When United States has strict law and order issues, but they cannot protect the Indian consulate in San Francisco, which was targeted and attacked and defaced by Khalistani terrorists in San Francisco. Why Gurpatwant Singh Pannu has not been brought to justice by the US, justice system. Why Canada did not cooperate with India after 1985 Kanishka bombing. Canada did not cooperate at all. Pretty much all the criminals were let go except for one who was prosecuted, jailed, and then released. Then Canadian Prime Minister Pierre Trudeau refused to, extradite Talvinder Singh Parmar to India, using a flimsy ground that India's head of state is not British Queen. Canada is a Commonwealth country, and our head of state is British Queen, and India does not have British Queen as head of state. What does that have to do with extradition? So these countries have actively supported Khalistani terrorists because of geopolitical reasons. The Western nations or the so-called Anglo-Saxon alliance has not been in favor of India geopolitically, despite recent acceptance of India as a rising nation. Historically, they have been very much anti-India.
So we very well know that the Sikh religion has very much originated from Hinduism.
Yes.
In the 15th century.
Indeed.
So can you tell us a bit about when and how did our Sikh brothers and Sikh religion diverge from Hinduism and Sanatana Dharma? How did it separate it?
So again, if you see historically, British imperial government had policy of divide and rule.
Yes.
And they used not only India versus Hindu versus Muslims, they also pandered to, Sikh activists. So, there was a Singh Sabha movement under British India, which was supported by the British authorities, and gradually they tried to separate Sikhism from Hinduism or Sanatan Dharma. It is a brotherly religion. It's part of Indic or Dharmic traditions, as we call it. Hinduism, Sikhism, Jainism, Buddhism, these are all part of the same tree. Originated from Sanatan Dharma, part of the Dharmic tradition. They follow the same spirit, same ideals, same principles. In fact, you would be surprised. Somebody did an analysis and found that in Guru Granth Sahib, the word Ram is mentioned 2,533 times. The name Hari for God is cited 8,344 times. The divine name Govind is cited 475 times in Guru Granth Sahib. The divine name Murari is cited 97 times, compared to Vaheguru, which is cited only 13 times. Now, you can see Sikh gurus, all the 10 Sikh gurus were gurus of Hindus also. Yes, we understand and we established that Khalsa Panth was initiated by Guru Gobind Singh. By the way, his original name was not Govind Singh. His original name was Govind Das, son of Guru Tegh Bahadur. And irony is that Guru Gobind Singh, where was he born? Guru Gobind Singh was born in Patna. Where did he die? Guru Gobind Singh died in Maharashtra in Nanded. He was not from Punjab. Born in Patna, died in Maharashtra. So what I'm trying to say, the organic relationship between Sanatan Dharma and Sikhism, that of a brother and brother. In Punjab, there was a tradition that the oldest son of every Hindu family was given to Gurdwara to be raised as a Sikh. So the tradition was that in the same family, older brother is Sikh, younger brother is Hindu. There was no difference. Hindus went to the Gurdwaras and Sikhs went to mandirs. Guru Gobind Singh was a worshipper of Chandi and Kali. So Sanatan origins of Sikhism, there's no question about it. What has happened that over a period of time, starting from British influence, a section of Sikhs started to separate from Hinduism and started removing Hindu or Sanatana symbols from their practices and places of worship. So first was that Hindu Mahants were expelled from the Gurdwaras, and then they started removing the Hindu icons, the murtis of gods from the Gurdwaras and things like that. And when the British created SGMC, Sikh Gurdwara, SGPC actually, Sikh Gurdwara Prabandhak Committee, SGPC took a slightly different turn and started, to assert separate individuality of Sikhism as a religion. So they tried to remove Sanatan influences. So it has been a process over a period of time. But ordinary Hindus and ordinary Sikhs, they live as brothers. The relationship at the grassroots level is still very, very strong. The bonds are very strong. I was looking at a Pew Research finding which suggested that 95% of Sikhs in India consider India as their true home and have no sympathy with Khalistani terrorists. And 98% of them actually decry the concept of Khalistan as propagated by Khalistani Western stooges. So it tells you, these two communities are brothers. Yes, attempts are being made. If you go to certain gurdwaras in Canada, you will find that there are no vestiges of Sanatan Dharma. They are glorifying Bhindrawale there and all that kind of thing. And it has also led to, gang warfares in diaspora Sikh communities. They are, criminal elements are involved in control of gurdwaras because a lot of money comes, the donations come to gurdwaras. So who wants to control that? So the gangs are fighting with each other. They are running drug trade and criminal activities. It has become, the Khalistani network in West has become a mafia network. And they have internecine wars. And yes, whenever the Khalistanis take over a Gurdwara, it becomes a hub of anti-India activity and all that sort of thing. And there are other reasons also. Although Sikhism does not support caste system, there is a caste system in Sikhism. And Jat Sikhs are the one who consider themselves superiors as compared to Ramgadiyas or, Ravidasis or so-called scheduled caste Sikhs. So in West, in some Gurudwaras that are controlled by Jat Sikhs, Ravidasis or Ramgadiyas are not allowed to enter. So it's a complex issue, but yes, a section of diaspora Sikhs, again, it's a small section, but they carry a lot of force, illegal activities. So they terrorize the ordinary diaspora Sikhs also. So people feel afraid to talk about them because these people have no scruples. They will kill somebody, they will ruin their lives, they will target their children. So law-abiding citizens, Sikh citizens in Western countries are not able to openly oppose them, and those who do, they are targeted. But even till this day, in India that Sikhs and Hindus live as brothers and sisters. In fact, in Punjab, only 58% are Sikhs. There's a large number of Sikh population in all other states. There are large number of Sikh shrines, as I mentioned in Patna, in Nanded, in Maharashtra, or Hemkund Sahib. So Sikhism is not just related to Punjab. Sikhism is all over India, actually. Sikhs are diaspora is all over the world. To narrowly, geographically limit Sikhism only to Punjab would be a mistake,
Because I have learned recently, while I was doing research, so only 0.3% Sikhs are supporting this Khalistan. So such a small fraction of Sikhs actually, how this Khalistan movement is gaining so much of a strength.
So this is where the political patronage, the sanctuaries, the criminal sanctuaries that are provided in Pakistan, in Canada, in UK and United States. There are terror camps being operated in Canada where Khalistanis are given, police protection to conduct their military training. In fact, when Khalistanis take these parades and all, Canadian police does not say anything. So there's a government patronage. When you don't take any action against terrorists despite a large number of dossiers given by Indian government to Canadian government, not just once, over a period of time, over decades. I was talking about the Kanishka Downing. That is not yesterday. That was in 1985.
Yeah.
Again, almost 40 years ago. Last time when Justin Trudeau came to India, I think it was in 2019, he spent almost 9 or 10 days in India, whereas official engagement was only for 1 day only. But he went to all the Sikh shrines and met with Sikh separatist leaders. And in fact, in 2 of the official dinners, he invited a convicted killer, Atwal. And that led to a diplomatic row. So they had to actually withdraw that invitation. And when he went to Punjab, the then Chief Minister of Punjab, Captain Amrinder Singh gave him a list of Sikh terrorists that were being given safe sanctuary in Canada. So yes, they are minuscule, but they serve their masters, whether that is in Pakistan or in Canada or in UK or in United States. So they have powerful backers who are backing them for geopolitical reasons, because since India was, became independent, the Western imperialist nation have been predicting breakup of India one way or the other. The question had been, will India survive? And people had predicted actually breakup of India for a long period of time, and it's part of the same project. And yes, in that process, Pakistani intelligence agencies and Pakistani military and Pakistani establishment is in bed with Western imperialistic nations and their intelligence agencies. So they have been protecting these elements. They have been pumping money, they have been pumping arms, and we need to recognize that. You are actually muted, sir. Kindly unmute yourself. Please unmute yourself. You're muted. You're muted.
Yeah. Can you hear me now?
Now I can hear you.
Yeah. So what I say, I think that Justin Trudeau is a very naive person actually. He is not able to think strategically, because when he sees what is the situation in Pakistan, because he is playing Pakistan now in Canada. And as far as I know about Canada, actually, Canada is 90% trade with USA. And Canada is 90% is USA is 10% business. And so I have learned that Canada don't have any gold deposits, because the geopolitics situation is changing very fast. And in the next 10 years, it will be completely changed. The whole new scenario people will see in the international arena actually. So in this case, when he is supporting a terrorist organization, he will be facing the same challenges that Pakistan has been facing, and today where Pakistan has reached. So the same thing will happen to Canada too, as I think.
I think you are right. I won't say that Justin Trudeau is naive. Justin Trudeau is a politician whose one-point agenda is to stay in power. And he will do anything to stay in power. As Prime Minister of Canada, this is his third term. In 3 terms, only first time he got majority. The last 2 governments were minority governments supported by other parties. And after 2021 snap election, it is the NDP of Jagmeet Singh, which is a Khalistani party. So I won't say he's naive guy. He is not a simpleton or a silly person. He is a shrewd guy who knows how to stay in power, and that is what he is doing. But in that process, he is ruining his own country. Just like Zelensky has ruined his own country, Justin Trudeau de facto has made Canada a sanctuary for international terrorists, criminals, drug peddlers, human traffickers, and mafia element. By tolerating them, you cannot say that terrorist activities are freedom of speech. There is a distinction between them. You cannot glorify assassination of Prime Minister of a fellow democratic country. Yes, Canada's economy is tanking down. In the next elections that will be held, I think in 2025 in Canada, it is likely that Justin Trudeau may not survive. I was watching some videos, reactions from opposition leaders, and they have, chastised Justin Trudeau like anything, that you cannot treat a fellow democracy, a rising country, a rising geopolitical power like India for your stupidity, and he has been excoriated. I mean, he has not been able to provide any evidence despite making these allegations on the floor of the parliament. And even in his statement in the floor of Canadian Parliament, he stated that we have credible allegations, not credible evidence. If you had evidence, you would have shared by now.
Yeah.
And then they start playing a game that, there's a leak from New York Times that the TWhy intelligence countries have provided some intelligence to Canada.